Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue with our reading of the Emerald Tablets. Last time we left off, we were on Emerald Tablet number 3, which is titled The Key of Wisdom. And Thoth said, I, Thoth the Atlantean, give of my wisdom, give of my knowledge, give of my power, give that they too might have wisdom to shine through the world. Wisdom is power, and power is wisdom, one with each other, perfecting the whole. Be thou not proud, O man, in thy wisdom. Discourse with the ignorant as well as the wise. If one comes to thee full of knowledge, listen and heed, for wisdom is all. Basically, it sounds like he's just saying to be humble. Keep thou not silent when evil is spoken for truth, like the sunlight shines above all. He who oversteppeth the law shall be punished, for only through law comes the freedom of men. Cause thou not fear, for fear is a bondage, a fetter that binds the darkness to men. You know, when he says here, not to overstep the law, and or whoever oversteps the law shall be punished, I don't think he's talking about like the way we have like governments who are making laws and the police trying to enforce the laws. I don't think he's talking about that kind of law. I think he's talking about the law of karma, or like the law of cause and effect, like what goes around comes around. I think he's just talking about karmic laws, not so much like the government trying to enforce laws like the way we have them today. Follow thine heart during thy lifetime. Do thou more than is commanded of thee. When thou hast gained riches, follow thine heart, for all these are of no avail if thine heart be weary. Diminish thou not the time of following thine heart, it is abhorred of the soul. They that are guided go not astray, but they that are lost cannot find a straight path. If thou go among men, make for thyself love, the beginning and the end of the heart. If one cometh unto thee for counsel, let him speak freely, that the thing for which he hath come to thee may be done. If he hesitates to open his heart to thee, it is because thou, the judge, doeth the wrong. Repeat thou not extravagant speech, neither listen thou to it, for it is the utterance of one not in equilibrium. Speak thou not of it, so that he before thee may know wisdom. Silence is of great profit. An abundance of speech profiteth nothing. Exalt not thine heart above the children of men, lest it be brought lower than the dust. I want to share a little side note that one of the researchers I follow, who also studies the Emerald Tablets, brought up. Billy Carson, because there's a bunch of different translations of this, and there's a bunch of different interpretations of this, so I've read multiple ones, but Billy Carson gives a reference to a verse in the Bible that many believe originally came from the teachings of Thoth. It says, "It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirits, and they are life." And that comes from John 6, verse 36. And as we continue reading through these Emerald Tablets, you actually find a lot of verses and little segments that are almost identical to other ones that you find not only in the Bible but all kinds of other ancient texts. Like I wouldn't be surprised if every single religion on the planet originated from these teachings, because there are so many correlations. Even in another writing called the Kabbalion, which was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like 3 or a few different scholars all combined their efforts to summarize the teachings of Thoth in an entire book called the Kabbalion. And one of the first things they say is that there's never been any teachings that were more secretive and more occulted than the teachings of Thoth, which is also Hermes Trismegistus. And that's how all the religious institutions retained power over people is because they just occulted all this knowledge of the way the universe really works, and they used it to their advantage, and they psychologically manipulated human consciousness with it. All right, let's continue. If thou be great among men, be honored for knowledge and gentleness. If thou seeketh to know the nature of a friend, ask not his companion, but pass a time alone with him, debate with him, testing his heart by his words and his bearing. To me, that sounds like don't gossip. That which goeth into the storehouse must come forth, and the things that are thine must be shared with a friend. Knowledge is regarded by the fool as ignorance, and the things that are profitable are to him hurtful. He liveth in death. It is therefore his food. The wise man lets his heart overflow, but keeps silent his mouth. O man, list to the voice of wisdom. List to the voice of light. Mysteries there are in the cosmos that, unveiled, fill the world with their light. Let he who would be free from the bonds of darkness first divine the material from the immaterial, that fire or the fire from the earth. For know ye that as earth descends to earth, also fire ascends unto fire and becomes one with fire. He who knows the fire that is within himself shall ascend unto eternal life and dwell in its eternity. Fire, the inner fire, is the most potent of all force, for it overcometh all things and penetrates to all things of the earth. Man supports himself only on that which resists, so earth must resist man, else he existeth not. All eyes do not see with the same vision, for to one an object appears of one form and color, and to a different eye another. So also the infinite fire, changing from color to color, is never the same from day to day. You know, that sounds like how some people, they have this thing called synesthesia, where they see sound. Like when they hear sound, it changes the colors of certain things around them. If I'm not mistaken, that's what synesthesia is. That's kind of like what it sounds like he's talking about here. Thus I speak, I, Thoth, of my wisdom, for man is a fire burning bright through the night. Never is quenched in the veil of darkness, never is quenched by the veil of night. Into men's hearts I looked by my wisdom, found them not free from bondage of strife, free from the toils thy fire, O my brother, lest it be buried in the shadows of night. Hark ye, O man, and list to my wisdom. Where do name and form cease? Only in consciousness, invisible and infinite force of radiance bright, the forms that ye create by brightening thy vision are truly effects that follow thy cause. Man is a star bound to a body. Until the end, he is freed through his strife. Only by struggle and toiling, thy utmost shall the star within thee bloom out into new life. He who knows the commencement of all things, is his star from the realm of night. So that sounds like he's talking about how we are beings of light that are, like we're trapped in these avatar bodies, and somehow, some way, we're like, our consciousness might be connected to light. And where does light come from? It comes from the stars, something like that. Remember, O man, that all which exists is another form of that which exists not. Everything that has being is passing into yet another being, and thou thyself are not an exception. I think what that means is about how, like, energy, I think he's just talking about like energy, how it's transmuted. Like, what is energy? It's this thing that exists, but it can't, like, no one knows really how do you destroy energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only be like transferred or transmuted. And Thoth said, consider the law, for all is law, Seek not that which is not the law. And again, I think when he says the law, I think he's referring to karmic laws, the laws of karma, like the universal laws, not government laws. For such exist only in the illusions of the senses. Wisdom comes to all her children, even as they cometh unto wisdom. All through the ages the light has been hidden. Awake, O man, and be wise. Deep in the mysteries of life I have traveled, seeking and searching for that which is hidden. List ye, O man, and be wise. Far neath the earth's crust, in the halls of Amente, mysteries I saw that are hidden from men. Oft have I journeyed the deep hidden passage, looked on the light that is life among men. There neath the flowers of life ever living, searched I the hearts and the secrets of men. Found I that man is but living in darkness, light of the great fire is hidden within. Then we have another reference to the flowers of life, and I think again when he's talking about the flower, and here he's talking about the sacred geometric shape, the flower of life, which is kind of one of the fundamental designs in the universe through sacred geometry. I think we talked about that in the last reading that I did. Masters are they of the secret, or of the great secret wisdom, brought from the future of infinity's end. 7 are they, the lords of Amente, overlords they of the children of morning, sons of the cycles, masters of wisdom. I think he might be talking about the 7 energy centers, or the 7 main chakras. But everything is like metaphorical in here. A lot of the stuff he's talking about here, it has to do with like energy and physics and geometry and laws of the universe and quantum physics and things like that. And like the biological design of the human avatar bodies and how the consciousness incarnates into them and how the energy body works. A lot of the stuff in here I believe is metaphorical. Formed are they as the children of men. 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9 are the titles of the masters of men. Far from the future, formless yet forming, came they as teachers for the children of men. Live they forever, yet not of the living, bound not to life, and yet free from death. Rule they forever with infinite wisdom, bound yet not bound to the dark halls of death. Life they have in them, yet life that is not life. Free from all are the lords of all. Forth from them came forth the Logos, instruments they of the power o'er all. Vast in their countenance, yet hidden in smallness, formed by a forming, known yet unknown. 3 holds the key of all hidden magic, creator he of the halls of the dead. It's funny he references the number 3 holds the keys of all hidden magic, and if you ever study Nikola Tesla's work, 3 is a Tesla number. There's a quote by Nikola Tesla says, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you need to understand the numbers 3, 6, and 9. And we can talk more about that in another video. Sending forth power, shrouding the darkness, binding the souls of the children of men. Sending the darkness, binding the soul force, director of negative to the children of men. 4 is he who loses the power, Lord, he of life to the children of men. Light is his body, flame is his countenance, freer of souls to the children of men. 5 is the master, Lord of all magic, he to the word that resounds among men. 6 is the Lord of light, the hidden path of the souls of the children of men. 7 is he who is Lord of the vastness, master of space, and the key of times. Maybe he's talking about the dimensions, different dimensions here. Just speculating. Or musical notes. 8 is he who orders the progress, weighs and balances journey of men. 9 is the Father, vasty of countenance, forming and changing from out of the formless. Meditate on the symbols I give thee. Keys are they, though hidden from men. Reach ever upward, O soul of the morning. Turn thy thoughts upward to light and to life. Find in the keys of the numbers I bring thee, light on the pathway from life unto life. Seek ye with wisdom, turn thy thoughts inward. Close not thy mind to the flower of life, or flower of light. Place in thy body a thought-formed picture. Think of the numbers that lead thee to life. Right there, that sounds like he's talking about law of attraction techniques, like going into a meditative state and then visualizing things in your head. That's exactly what it sounds like he's talking about here. Clears the pathway to he who has wisdom. Open the door to the kingdom of light. Pour forth thy flame as a sun of the morning. Shut out the darkness and live in the day. Take thee, O man, as part of thy being, the seven who are but are not as they seem. Opened, O man, have I my wisdom. Follow the path in the way I have led. Master of wisdom, son of the morning light, and life to the children of men. I'm actually going to share another little side note, and this is back to about the whole Nikola Tesla numbers. Here's the exact quote now that I'm not looking at the book, but it says, if you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe. And that's a Nikola Tesla quote. And then there's another little commentary from Billy. It says the equinoxes and solstices are in March, June, and September, which March is the 3rd month, June is the 6th month, and September is the 9th month. And then it says that ancient civilizations worship the equinox and the solstices. And he asks the question, did Tesla figure out the significance or the magnificence in these events? All right, let's move on to tablet number 4. List ye, O man, the voice of wisdom. List to the voice of Thoth, the Atlantean. Freely I give to thee of my wisdom, gathered from time and space of this cycle. And I think when he's talking about cycles, he's referring to the same cycles that were referred to in the Mayan calendar, the 26,000 year cycle, the precession of the equinoxes. I think that's the same cycles he's talking about. Master of mysteries, son of the morning, living forever, a child of light, shining with brightness, star of the morning. And then again, back to the whole Mayan calendar, and you know how we move, like what we move through these different cycles, you know, the different ages and the astrological, the different astrological cycles and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about. Like, you know how you move from from the dark ages and into the age of enlightenment, and you know they have like the age of Pisces and going into the age of Aquarius. I think that's what he's talking about here. Thoth, the teacher of men, is of all. Long time ago, I in my childhood lay 'neath the stars on long buried Atlantis, dreaming of mysteries far above men. Then in my heart grew there a great longing to conquer the pathway that led to the stars. Year after year, I sought after wisdom, seeking new knowledge, following the way, until at last my soul, in great travail, broke from its bondage and bounded away. And I believe what he was just talking about was astral projection, having an out-of-body experience. I believe that's what he's talking about right here. So when it talks about how how he had to practice it, is what it sounds like. It sounds like it took him a while. It says year after year, I sought after the wisdom. And I mean, people do that today. Some people just kind of do it on accident. Some people have to practice on how to do it. All right, let's continue. Free was I from the bondage of earth men, free from the body, I flashed through the night. Unlocked at last for me was the star space. Free was I from the bondage of night. Yeah, he's absolutely talking about astral projection and having an out-of-body experience. Now to the end of space sought I wisdom, far beyond knowledge of finite man. Far into space, my soul traveled freely into infinity's circle of light. Strange beyond knowledge were some of the planets, great and gigantic beyond the dreams of men. Yet I found law in all of its beauty, working through and among them as here among men. And again, I believe he's talking about the law of karma, which is a universal law all throughout the universe. Flashed forth my soul through infinity's beauty, far through space. I flew with my thoughts. Rested I there on a planet of beauty. Strains of harmony filled in the air. Shapes there were, moving in order, great and majestic as stars in the night, mounting in harmony, ordered equilibrium, symbols of the cosmic, like unto law. Wouldn't be surprised if he's talking about the geometric shapes that are found all throughout the architecture of the universe. Many the stars I passed in my journey, many the races of men on their worlds, some reaching high as stars of the morning, some falling low in the blackness of night. Each and all of them struggling upward, gaining the heights and plummeting the depths, moving at times in realm of brightness, living through darkness, gaining the light. So if you're ever wondering if there's other people living on other planets, life on other planets, like he straight up says it right here. Know, O man, that light is thine heritage. Know that darkness is only a veil. Sealed in thine heart is brightness eternal, waiting the moments of freedom to conquer, waiting to rend the veil of night. Some I found who had conquered the ether, free of space, were they while yet they were men, using the force that is the foundation of all things. Far in space constructed they a planet. Like he's straight up saying right here that he encountered beings and races so advanced that they were constructing their own planets, drawn by the force that flows through all, condensing, coalescing the ether into forms that grew as they willed. So I think he might be talking about 0-point energy, just harnessing the actual energy of the universe and being able to use it to create their own worlds. Outstripping in science, they, all of the races, mighty in wisdom, sons of the stars, long time I paused, watching their wisdom, saw them create from out of the ether cities gigantic of rose and gold, formed forth from the primal elements, base of all matter, the ether far flung. Far in the past they had conquered the ether, freed themselves from the bondage of toil, ormed in their mind only a picture, and swiftly created it grew. I think he's talking about like telekinesis, like literally they became so powerful and so good at manipulating the ether and so advanced at mastering the technology of sound and frequency and vibration, and how vibration is creating the reality that they could literally just create. They must have had some kind of crazy technology to calibrate the vibrations, to just pull the energy from the ether maybe, or maybe they're just so highly advanced with their consciousness they could just do it by thought. Just more speculating here. Forth then my soul sped throughout the cosmos, seeing ever new things and old, learning that man is truly space-born, a son of the sun, a child of the stars. Know ye, O man, whatever from ye inhabit, surely it is one with the stars. Thy bodies are nothing but planets revolving around their central suns. When ye have gained the light of all wisdom, free shall ye be to shine in the ether one of the suns that lights outer darkness, one of the space-born grown into light. Just as the stars in time lose their brilliance, light passing from them into the great source, so, O man, the soul passes onward, leaving behind the darkness of night. Formed forth ye from the primal ether, filled with the brilliance that flows from the source, bound by the ether, coalesced around, yet ever it flames until at last it's free. That word was C-O-A-L-E-S-C-E-D. Coalesced. Sorry. Lift up your flame from out of the darkness, fly from the night, and ye shall be free. Traveled I through the space-time, knowing my soul at last was set free, knowing that now might I pursue wisdom, until at last I passed to a plane hidden from knowledge, known not to wisdom, extension beyond all that we know. Now, O man, when I had this knowing, happy my soul grew, for now I was free. Listen, ye spaceborn, to my wisdom, know that ye too will be free. List ye again, O man, to my wisdom, that hearing ye too might live and be free. Not of the earth are ye earthy, but a child of the infinite cosmic light. There's probably some more stuff that these religious institutions and governments, people in power, like, they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to be a child of infinite cosmic light. They want you to be an obedient, tax-paying worker. Can you see why a lot of this stuff is hidden? Know ye not, O man, of your heritage? Know ye not, ye are truly the light, son of the great sun, when ye gain wisdom, truly aware of your kinship with light. Now to ye I give knowledge, freedom to walk in the path I have trod, showing ye truly how by my striving I trod the path that leads to the stars. Again, I think these more and more references to astral projection and developing the psychic abilities and the power of consciousness and stuff like that. Hark ye, O man, and know of thy bondage. Know how to free thyself from the toils. Out of the darkness shall ye rise upward, one with the light, one with the stars. Follow ye ever the path of wisdom. Only by this can ye rise from below. Ever man's destiny leads him onward, onto the curves of infinity's all. Know ye, O man, that space is ordered. Only by order are ye one with all. Order and balance are the law of the cosmos. Follow, and ye shall be one with the all. He who would follow the pathway of wisdom, open must be he to the flower of life, extending his consciousness out of the darkness, flowing through time and space in the all. Deep in the silence, first ye linger, until at last ye are free from desire, free from the longing to speak in the silence, conquered by silence the bondage of words, abstraining from eating until we have conquered desire for food. That is bondage of soul. This is exactly what the yogis would teach in like the Himalayas in India, even in the book Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. They talk about how they don't eat, because, and you'll even notice this too, and I mean I've practiced this too, is like when you don't eat, what happens is you free up a lot more electrical energy to go to your brain and power your psychic abilities. Like when you eat a whole bunch of food, your body has to allocate electrical energy to digest the food. But when your body's not digesting food, you have more electrical energy available to power your brain and your psychic abilities. Then ye lie down in the darkness, close your eyes from the rays of the light. Center thy soul force in the place of thine consciousness, shake it free from the bonds of the night. When he says center thy soul force in the place of thine consciousness, I believe he's talking about the crown chakra, the pineal gland. So he's like, send. So don't eat, fast, send the electrical energy in meditation, which is called the Kundalini meditation, where you send energy from your root chakra to your pineal gland. When that energy hits your pineal gland, then boom, you start going multidimensional and you can develop psychic abilities. Joe Dispenza teaches that in his workshops. Place in thine mind the image you desire. Picture the place thou desire to see. He's talking about astral projection and remote viewing right here. Vibrate back and forth with thine power. Loosen the soul from out of its night. Fiercely must thou shake with all of thine power, until at last thy soul shall be set free. Mighty beyond words is the flame of the cosmic, hanging in planes unknown to man. Mighty and balanced, moving in order, music of harmonies far beyond man. Speaking with music, singing in color, flame from the beginning of eternities all. Spark of the flame art thou, O my children, burning with color and living with music. List to the voice, and thou shalt be free. Consciousness free is fused with the cosmic, one with the order and law of the all. Know ye that man, that out of the darkness light shall flame forth, a symbol of all. Pray ye this prayer for attaining of wisdom. Pray for the coming of light to all. Mighty spirit of light that shines through the cosmos, draw my flame closer to harmony, or in harmony to thee. Lift up my fire from out of the darkness, magnet of fire that is one with the all. Lift up my soul, thou mighty and potent, child of light, turn not away. Draw me in power to melt in thy furnace, one with all things, and all things in one, fire of the life strain, and one with the brain. When ye have freed thy soul from its bondage, freed it from the human body, astral projection again, know that for ye darkness is gone. Ever through space ye may seek wisdom, bound not by fetters forged in the flesh. Onward and upward into the morning, free flash, O soul, to the realms of the light. Move thou in order, move thou in harmony, freely shalt move with the children of light. Seek ye and know ye my key of wisdom. Thus, O man, ye surely be free. That is the end of Tablet 4, all about remote viewing and astral projection. Pretty cool stuff.